Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everyone, to the Doctors Are In show. I am your host, Dr. Rose Wilkerson. I'm a certified life coach and a spiritual teacher coming to you live from Berkeley, California. And joining me, as always, is my fabulous co-host. He is a tarot advisor, numerologist, and life coach. And here he is live from Tucson, Arizona. Dr. Dax, I'm sorry, I messed up your name. Dr. Dax Carlisle. Oh, my goodness. I know, blah, blah. I'm so sorry, Dax. My tongue got all twisted. How you doing, Dax? Welcome to the show. Welcome back.
I'm here. I'm in Tucson. It is hot. Oh, my God. I'm sitting out on the patio. It's 105 degrees, but it's a dry heat. And and it's overcast. Thank God it's overcast today. Yesterday we hit like 111, 112, 13, some ridiculous thing yesterday. Holy cow, we're melting here.
Yeah, it can get really hot in Arizona. That's why they call it Arizona, the arid zone. Yeah.
Hello.
I can only visit that for a short period of time, but I cannot. I don't think I could live there. That's a lot. Unless it was Vegas.
Oh, no, it's okay because we have AC. You know, we live in the AC in our house, and we only go outside to get into our car with the AC, and then from our car to our destination and go into the AC. It's all AC. I don't know how. I don't know how they did it. Like in the 1860s and 1880s, and you see all the cowboy movies, and they're in Tucson, Arizona, and I'm like, Boot Hill and
wearing all
like,
that leather.
How the heck did they not die and expire instantly? I mean, I would have been like the Wicked Witch of the West, or I'd be like, I'm melting. It just, holy cow.
Well, Dax, let me go ahead and tell people, those who are not familiar with our show, what we do. So the Doctors Are In show is one where we discuss and take your questions on anything and everything psychic, hypnosis, meditation, energy healing, psychic development, and more. And Dax, did you want to tell the folks how they can contact us in the show?
Sure, yes. Remember, today is open lines, life coaching, and tarot mini readings all show long. You can call in and you can ask us about any of those different things that Dr. Rose just mentioned, psychic development, and anything to do with the mind, hypnosis, and life coaching. You can ask us about life coaching. We did a whole show on that a few weeks ago. And hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to get into the chat room at the same time. I completely forgot to get into the chat room because that's another way you can chat with us, folks.
That's right.
Join us in the chat room at the Tarot Guild, because the Tarot Guild is the sponsor of our weekend shows, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm trying to pop in the thing for today's show into the chat room here. It's located on the Tarot Guild website, thetarotguild.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find the chat button, the chat link in the navigation bar at the top of any page on the right-hand side. It says chat. Actually, I'm sorry, but I don't know what it looks like on the cell phone. There's a chat bubbles, up in the upper left corner or something, or maybe it's the right corner, depending on what phone you're on. You'll see the chat bubbles. Just click that to get into the chat room. I know like 60% of people, they say, that use the internet do it mobilely. I don't know how they do it. I have to do everything on my laptop because I can't look at this tiny little screen and do Photoshop. It just doesn't work on a phone. Anyway,
Right.
but I'm always on my laptop, so I have to remember that other people are accessing us in a different way. So go over to thetarotguild.com/chat. That will also take you into the chat room. Click on the main room icon with the big G in tarot, our logo, and you can join us in the chat room. You can chat about the show. You can comment. You can ask us questions, and we'll read them live on air. And you can ask for a mini reading in there, and we'll read it live on air. So, okay, I'm in the chat room now, folks, if you want to join me in there. And you can call us. That's the preferred way because we get to chat with you, yeah. It's 714-816-4628. We take the calls in the order that they come in. Now, when you dial in, as soon as you get through, you have to press 1 on your dial pad. That puts you into the caller queue. And we'll take the calls in the order that they came in. Dial in and listen to the show. You could do that too. Just don't press the 1. If you are Skyping in, go to your Skype app, open the dial pad, and click 1, okay, for those Skyping in. And I'll give out that number one more time, 714-816-4628. There's no topic for today. We're just going to do open lines all show long, so we're going to go to calls really quickly here. But before that, I always like to give the numerology and the tarot card of the day. Right, Dr. Rose?
That's correct.
So today, the entire date, June 26th, so that's 6/26/2020. If you add that all up, all those numbers, you get 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So it is a 9 date. It's that 9 energy. These are, when it's your life path, it's your old souls, the people that are interested in beyond themselves, helping everybody. They're concerned with the masses. And interestingly enough, the card that I got for the day is the Queen of Coins, sometimes called the Queen of Pentacles. And this is the mom card to me for multiple reasons. One reason is in the traditional Waite Smith version of the card, she's sitting on her throne. She's got the pentacle on her lap. She's holding it, and she's bending over and, in that kind of as if she's holding a child, kind of nurturing look at the pentacle. And that's what the queens are about, is nurturing these aspects. And in this case, it's the material realm because it's pentacles. And also, the actual figure looks just like my mom did when I was growing up. And so I identify this card with mom. I call it the mom card. And it's about nurturing, and it's a very down-to-earth person, obviously. It's the earth element. This is a capable woman, uncomplicated, earthy, nurturing, patient, organized, has a fondness for luxury, has a business sense. She's all about bringing the family together, okay? So that fits in perfectly with the numerology of the date, the 9 energy, which is also nurturing. So today is a day to think about, okay, not about myself, but what can I do to help other people? And then, interestingly enough, the day, we always talk about the day energy and the date because they're both significant. Most numerologists just talk about one or the other. It's the 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 is the number of abundance in numerology. And it looked like, when I first looked at that, it looks like it might be a little counterintuitive. You got this nurturing energy, and then you got the abundance energy, which is all about how do I become more abundant, more successful, financially abundant in all areas of my life. Well, as it turns out, it makes perfect sense. Because if you look at how you can serve other people, how you can help them with an issue or a problem they have, solve a problem for them, you're going to end up becoming abundant. you're going to receive that as a reward. Even, the idea is not to worry about the abundance, not to aim for that. Aim for the nurturing, but it's going to come as a byproduct. If you're nurturing with your relationships, your family, your parents, your children, your significant other, you're going to get the abundance of love. You're going to get that abundance in that area of your life. If you go out there today and you think, hey, I'm really good at XYZ, which solves alpha, beta problem for C person, if you can make these connections, then what you can do is go out and you can solve a problem for somebody, and you're going to be financially rewarded. All of this fits together. And, when I do life coaching sessions with you, in fact, when you and I did life coaching together, the first thing I told you was that. The very first thing I tell all of my clients that are coming to me about, especially business coaching, which is what Dr. Rose and I were doing, is take time to think about, how do I solve somebody else's problem? Because everything, all commerce, everything we do, I don't care what the product is, I don't care what the service is. If you're a hairstylist, you're solving a problem for somebody. Their hair has become long and unkept, and they need their hair cut. If you're pumping gas for somebody, you're solving a problem for somebody. They need fuel for their vehicle. I'm showing my age here. I know you guys don't realize this, but back in the people actually used to come out when you drove in, and they used to fill your tank for you. But it still applies to the clerk that's in the Circle K. It's in the convenience store, and helping you out with pumping your gas. If you're selling a product that, solves a problem that the person has, they have acne and you have a product that cures acne. I know I'm being a little ridiculous here, but I just want to show you that we don't think about it, but everything we do, you cannot show me a person that works for a company or for themselves where they are not in some way contributing to a product or service that solves a problem for other people. And that's where the value is. You're creating value for other people by solving problems. And that's the message from the tarot card of the day, the numerology of the day, is to don't rush into it. Spend time with this. Spend time thinking about what trying to think of how to describe it here, but what are my skills and abilities, and how can I in some way then solve a problem for somebody? And by the way, this works also for life coaches, intuitive practitioners, tarot readers, psychics, because we should all, at least in the beginning, we should attempt to niche or niche into a specific client that has a specific problem. So maybe you become the tarot reader that helps. I help people find their lost love, or I help people find the love of their life. You're the romance reader, or something like that. So you're solving a problem for somebody, a very specific demographic. That's how you become abundant and successful in business, you see. But it's all about the nurturing. How do you help other people and use your skills and abilities? Or what skills and abilities can I quickly develop and then solve a problem for somebody as well? So that's what that is all about today. Tarot card of the day, numerology of the day. Give that some people are losing jobs, having to get new jobs, businesses are closing, they have to change to a different business. Instead of looking at the negative aspect of it, look at the positive aspect of it. You can reinvent yourself into anything you want right now. You can, the other element I didn't add in here, Rose, is do something that you enjoy doing. You know, solve a problem for someone that you are good at doing that, and you can wake up every day and be excited to go to work solving people's, this problem for people. Give that some thought. Figure out what problem you can solve. Look at the skills and abilities you have right now. If you figure out, well, what I'd really like to do is this, and solve this problem, go on udemy.com, and look for a course that is going to teach you in a few days how to solve that problem. And you can usually do it for like $11 or $12.
That's right. I was saying this last time, I think, in the last show, that Udemy always puts their courses on sale every month. And so you just get on their mailing list, or, use the app and have it send you notifications of when they do. I've seen $199 to $299 courses be sold for $27, $10, $9.99. So you can really, it doesn't take a lot of money for many. And the courses are really good. I mean, the real robust ones, they're good, and you can buy them for a little bit of money. Yeah.
I obviously do the life coaching and hypnosis, and I've taken courses on Udemy for smoking cessation specialist, and I've taken a Reiki course, life coaching, several hypnosis courses, NLP courses, neuro-linguistic programming, EFT, emotional freedom technique, all that become tools in my tool belt where I can solve problems for somebody, you see. I think it's, an awesome thing, and if you need more help, you need more guidance, you can, book a session with me. I'm glad to help you. I'll pull tarot cards on it. I'll do some life coaching with you. In fact, during the Sizzling Summer Sale, I had that all on sale. So shameless plug, just go to my page, thetarotguild.com/Dax. And I've got a few different options there for booking a session with me. And even my life coaching sessions and hypnotherapy sessions are really, really cheap right now. I mean, I have them all 25% off. I think my life coaching / hypnosis session, maybe you want to quit smoking, that's my specialty, weight loss, all of that, habits. I have it for $72.50 a session right now. And I normally charge $297. It's really a good deal, And then I have multiple options for tarot readings, and I include your numerology chart with that as well. And I used to just have one offering, Rose. It was, you book a session, it's $97, it lasts as long as it lasts, 10 minutes, 20, 30, an hour. But I decided for the Sizzling Summer Sale to make some lower-priced options, and they're all also 25% off what I normally charge. So it came out to 20 minutes for $35, 30 minutes for $45, 40 minutes for $60. And then the life coaching and hypnosis for $72, $75 a session. So that's thetarotguild.com/Dax. You can go over and check that out. Also, our membership is on sale at the Tarot Guild. If you're a professional tarot reader, you can join the Tarot Guild. It's a professional organization for professional readers since, 2004. We're in our 16th year. You'll get your CTR, Certified Tarot Reader application fee included in that. So it actually comes along with and is included with your membership. I think for the year it's normally $78. It's on sale for, I want to say, $58 or something like that. It's 25% off. My course is on sale too. So if you want to learn tarot and numerology, That's on sale for 25% off. It's the same thing. It's $78. I think comes out to $58. And I've been having a bunch of people jump on that. I had somebody enroll yesterday, and then my good friend Gary Carp, who he was even on our radio network for years back, when we started in 2010. He was on for years on there, and he was a member of the guild. Even he's come back and rejoined the guild because of that sale. He's like, yep, I'm getting that sale. He's going back into professional reading, and he also wants me to send him his certificates back out again, his membership to the Tarot Guild and his Certified Tarot Reader certificate. I don't know what I did with them next. But, yeah, it's really great to have Gary back. I'm hoping to get him on the air with us, and we can do a chat with Gary Carp. He's really, really cool. You're going to love him. Funny as heck as well. So there you go. Just go over to the Tarot Guild website, thetarotguild.com, and right in the center of the main page, there's actually a banner for the sales, all the sales, the membership, the certification. If you're new to Tarot and Numerology course, and also my readings and everything, it's all right there in the center of this banner. You just click on it. It'll take you there, thetarotguild.com. Okay, so I know you have a mantra of the day, but let's try to do a call or two before we do that. Is that okay?
Sure.
We'll get some calls in here. Let's see, who's been waiting the longest? Oh, I don't have an area code. It's just blank here. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, it's you. You're live. Okay. It looks like the switchboard's hanging up a bit here. I'm getting that circle thing you get, Try putting them back. Yeah, I'm going to try putting them back on hold and then bring their mic live again, and maybe it'll work this time. Let's see. Okay, it worked. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello, are you there?
Hello. Hi.
What's your name, hon?
Hi. So my name's Lisa, Arizona, and
hi, Lisa.
I checked the website. It's pretty awesome. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. We're glad to chat with you.
Still there, Lisa? Oh,
yes.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. I
have a question.
It's a little low. I'm trying to turn up my volume. My volume's up as far as it'll go. Lisa, if you can get closer to the microphone you're using, or device, get really close so we can hear you there. What's your question, hon?
Okay. Thank you. So, good male friend. Okay. So my male friend that do you see us communicating in the nearby future? I hope I said it right. There's one pretty close to me.
I think I get the gist of it. You're inquiring about that. Why are you not in communication now? Can't you just pick up the phone and call him?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
not following.
I have, but some people told him some lies, and so he left his job. So right now he's going into terminal with other things of his life because he lost his job.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course we're kind of in a recession. I left him text messages and some voice messages, and so that's pretty hard when we're in a COVID-19. But
right.
I guess I want. So I know everybody has stress differently. But and it's hard. He's been with the company 10 years.
Yep. It's really bad
now. So that's
now.
really, really hard. Yeah, so I just want to know
okay,
if you
let
see
me,
that.
let me just tell you what's coming through the cards. I'm just going to give you the information, and you can do with it what you will. I'm going to tell you what's coming through. And this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, Dr. Rose, is, people are having to make changes. And one of the things that comes through pretty clear in the cards is that he's going to be okay. At the very end, we got the King of Pentacles. I mean, I see him, bouncing back. Yeah. So, you shouldn't be concerned with that. Now, as far as your communication with him, first of all, there's other things going on that you're totally unaware of. The moon card shows up, and in moonlight versus daylight, there's shadows, things are not clear. And that's the message that's coming through from that. Right next to it is the Hanged Man, which speaks of a delay. So, yes, there's going to be a delay in communicating with him. I think there's still potential, because I also did this as a yes-no spread, a 5-card yes-no spread, and I got 3 yeses out of 5. So it means it's leaning that direction. There's more things required to be done before you're going to be able to get back into communication with him. Another aspect of the Hanged Man is that the Hanged Man, I wish they didn't even name it that, because it's not a man that's been hanged. It's a man that has hung himself upside down on purpose, because he wants to view the world 180 degrees upside down from the rest of us. He wants to think outside of the box. He wants to see what he's missing, okay? So this is another layer to this card. It's talking about the delay, but it's also giving you a little bit of advice as to what to do. You need to think outside the box a little bit here. If the regular communication lines are not working for you, messaging, texting, calling, think outside the box. How else can I get a hold of him? What are the other options? And there's a lot of different ways you could do that as well, all right? Now, the central focus card, however, is the Ten of Swords. And when I first saw that card, I was like, uh-oh. Because that talks about defeat, failure. It's like hitting rock bottom. It's the end of a relationship. It's the end of a cycle. But it's also the dawning and beginning of the new one. And my initial thought was really because of what's happened in the past and these things that you're not aware of that are coming through from the moon card, really the relationship is dead and buried right now. It's like beating a dead horse, Now, does that mean it's going to stay that way? Not necessarily, because like I said, I saw that card, but then I saw the rest of the card. And I realized that because it's right next to the Hanged Man, indicating a delay, and about thinking outside of the box, if you work on this, you could develop a relationship again, only it'll be a new relationship. It will not be the old relationship. The old relationship is dead. That's the Ten of Swords. But in the Ten of Swords in the background, the sun is dawning and coming up. A new day is dawning, meaning 10 is the end of a cycle, 1 is the beginning of a cycle. You go 1 through 9, and then you start over again, 1 through 9. You're starting a whole new cycle here. So it's possible to start a new relationship, but always keep in mind that it's not the same relationship. It's going to be different if you're able to get a hold of him. There's another aspect to this. I have the 7 of Cups showing up, which talks about a lot of different options. It's also a card about fantasy and illusion. And a lot of times the problem is that you have too many options and you don't know what the right one is. And that falls between the Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So for your friend specifically, okay, the Ten of Swords, like I always tell everybody, the tarot is multi-layered. It's going to give you a lot of different layers of information. So another thing that the Ten of Swords is talking about is this ending of his employment with that company that he was employed with for 10 years. Hello? 10 years, Ten of Swords. Yeah, see? 10 of Swords,
wow.
10 years. Yeah, exactly. So it's talking about, okay, his business, his job is lost, but he has a lot of options showing up in that Seven of Cups. There's a lot of options. And if he follows the right path, if he goes down the right path, he's going to end up at that King of Pentacles. He's going to be okay. So that's what's coming through for the cards for you, my dear.
Wow. That's a very good explanation of the cards and its life purposes. Thank you for the reading. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
You're welcome,
Thank
Lisa.
you.
Thanks for calling in. So, call.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to tie in the beginning of the show here, Dr. Rose. I'm going to say, if Lisa does eventually figure out a outside-of-the-box way to get a hold of him again and establishes a new relationship, that I hope she will share what we talked about in the beginning, about he should be figuring out a way that he could solve a problem for somebody else, create value for somebody else, and, not worry about, okay, he lost the job at the company he's been with for 10 years. Well, it's time to do something different. You don't have to you don't have to work in the same industry. You don't have to get another job. You can work for yourself. And by the way, folks, that's the answer. Everybody's looking for the answer out there in this time of the political strife, the demonstrations, the health crisis, the economy crashing, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. No, it's not. It's an opportunity for something new. And what I'm getting at here is that if you're working for a company, Rose, and because of COVID they have to shut down and you lose your job, you're at the mercy always of the company when you work for a company. For the last few decades, have you noticed how we're making this move away from where people, it's into freelancing. We're moving away from people would go to school, and the whole idea was to get the job with a good company that you're going to stay with for 25, 30 years to go watch in the pension at the end. That is dead and gone, folks. We're in a different era, okay? And if you're currently still in that mode, I'm not saying quit your job. But what I'm saying is be prepared. Know what you're going to do next if you end up not being able to stay at that job. And you should learn how you can apply your skills and abilities or develop new ones where you solve a problem, create value for somebody else, and you can work for yourself. In another 20 years, people aren't going to be employees of companies. The companies will be there, and the board of directors, and what they're doing, and the products they're putting out, and the services they're putting out. But, perhaps 80, 90% of the workforce for these companies are going to be working from home. They're all going to be freelancers. So prepare for that now. And, if you have children, raise them that way. Start them out that way. Because if you don't give them this information and train them, no one else will. The educational system, K through 12 and then through college, is all designed to train our young people in the mode of you graduate from school and you get a good job. Or you go then on to higher education so you can get an even better job, like a doctor or a lawyer, something higher paying, engineer, computer programming, whatever, something higher, and that's just not going to work anymore at some point. And so somebody who 20 years from now is going to be in their mid-20s to mid-30s, the world's going to be completely different. And so teach them now. Teach them what they're not teaching in school, which is finance, wealth growth, and working for yourself, solving problems for other people. The folks that have the most money at the very top never went to college. My mind's just blanking right now, Dr. Rose. All the people we think of, that are the most highly successful, Jobs, Gates, Warren Buffett. I don't think he has a college education, and he's the best with money there is. I'm not even sure about. I'm thinking even Elon Musk. I think I could be wrong. He might have graduated from college, but I'm not sure. But I think he dropped out and created PayPal with his partners, and then they sold PayPal, and then he started Tesla Motors, SpaceX, and all the things he's famous for now. It has nothing to do with education. All these people are solving a problem for somebody else. And like Steve Jobs liked to say, what Steve Jobs liked to say is before he put out the iPhone, people didn't know that they needed a handheld computer that you carry around with a touch interface screen.
Right.
He had to tell them that they need this and create it, and and suddenly, half of the world functions via these smartphones, and we would be lost without these smartphones. All because one man had a daydream, and it came to him. I always say from the collective unconscious. All the famous people that have written fantastic music, done amazing art, solved crazy problems, came up with theorems that weren't even thought of before. They all did it this way. Einstein did thought experiments, came up with E equals MC squared when he was doing a thought experiment. Trying to think here. God, my mind's just blanking right now. What was his main theorem besides the E equals MC squared and relativity? Okay, so relativity came to him in a dream. The iPhone came to Steve Jobs in a dreamlike state he was in, daydreaming. And all these other people, you'll interview musicians and you get this amazing song. Where'd it come from? I don't know. I woke up in the middle of the night and I just started writing down what was being dumped into my brain. So we think people, we label them geniuses, and some of them might have really high IQs. But a lot of this information is available to all of us, Dr. Rose, and that's my point, is that it's all there in the, some people label it the Akashic Records, other people label it the quantum field, the Dr. Carl Jung? Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious of the whole human race,
Right.
you can just become quiet with yourself and allow the answers to come through. Program your dreams to give you the answers that leads back to the very beginning of our discussion, that you solve a problem and create value for somebody else by solving this problem. And you can do just like Jobs did, and Einstein, and the Beatles and all the famous artists did. They tapped into this quantum field. They tapped into the collective unconscious. You can do that through your dreams, through meditative states. Just be down all your skills and abilities on a piece of paper. Read them off to yourself. Close your eyes. Spend 5 or 10 minutes. And who knows? There might actually be a mantra for that, which we'll get you to do on another show. Give you time to look into that. Is there a mantra for that? I want to find out.
I'm sorry, a mantra for what in particular?
So it would
like
be
getting quiet.
I'm trying to think of that. I'm trying to think of, what would the mantra actually be for? Maybe tapping into the inner self, or better actuating, or maybe better actuating a meditative state. Just give it some thought. See what you come up with. I bet there's a mantra.
There is. You can. With any mantra, you could actually achieve that state. But the best one that for me that pops up into my head is Om. One of the things that you were having this discussion about, looking for jobs and being dependent upon a company out there or something out there to give you what you need. It really is. It reminds me of a lot of the readings and some of the old knowledge from indigenous cultures from way back when. Is that really the power is within you? The whole idea that your abundance, your money, your job, your love, your whatever it is that you need, your food, the car that you want, the house that you want, the very fact that you believe that it comes from outside of yourself is nonsense. It actually comes from within you. Everybody's vibrating on a certain frequency. And so if you, and I've had this happen in my life, everybody, anybody who's born into this world, we come with issues and problems. Everybody has some kind of problem somewhere, no matter how rich or poor you are or what you do or don't have. And you're operating on a certain frequency. So if you're having trouble finding a job, or if you lost your job, or if you are needing money, that's all because of a frequency that you're putting out there to the universe. You can say whether it's the universe or to what's around you. What you have to do is to switch that. The source of your abundance and wealth and jobs and income or anything that you want in life is not outside of you. It is within you. And there have been many people over the years, from present day on that, who have talked about that. Some people who will say affirmations, some people who do meditation, some people who chant mantras or practice the law of attraction will tell you the source is yourself. It is not what's happening outside. There are people who get money for very little work or whatnot that they've done that will just pop up. And I don't mean like magically appear into your account, but I've heard of people who have gotten money from the government. I've heard of people who have won the lottery or casino or something like that, or they got a settlement for a property issue that they've been working on or what have you. You can get money coming to you. You just have to register. You have to vibrate at that frequency for you to get that. So going into a meditative state, the reason why people do meditation, there are a lot of various reasons, but really it's to recognize yourself as the source, the universe, or God, or however you want to whatever terms you use to understand that.
Oh, we need to do a show on that.
Right, and chanting the mantra Om It's just a very kind of Om is like what they call the God mantra, or call it super consciousness, however you want to term it. You know, everybody has different terms and understandings. Maybe you call it the Great Spirit or whatever. But Om helps you to get deep into yourself and understand that you are God. You are the goddess. You are the source of everything, of everything. And I know it's hard because some people have gone through very traumatic situations. It's not that it is your fault or that you deserve it. It doesn't mean that you deserve anything bad that happens to you. It's that there's a frequency that's going on, especially if you have a repetitive issue. You know, if you constantly can't find a job, if you constantly are having bad relationships, for example, that's because you're resonating at a frequency and it's putting it out there. So you got to change that. So Om wants you to kind of get to yourself, get to, some people call it, I don't know, in Buddhism, maybe it's the nothingness or getting connected to God or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And some time, because it's not that you have to chant for, you know, months and years and all that kind of stuff, but you have to slow things down. Your mind is working overtime, as our minds often do. And can you still hear me? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's weird. I was looking at the anyway, I was looking at the board in the studio, and I was like, what happened?
We hear you fine.
So, you know, it's really just getting to you as the source. That's why there are mantras. That's why there are affirmations. That's why we talk about the law of attraction. That's why we talk about NLP or EFT and all these things. It's really just kind of switching how you think about things, switching your energy so that you can attract what it is that you want. And there are plenty of different ways you can do that. People do it through hypnosis, NLP, meditation, chanting mantras. It's really up to you.
And totems, which is our topic for next week. So this is a nice, wonderful dovetail into that, where you may be thinking about, you know, I was thinking, Dr. Rose, they may be thinking to themselves right now, well, I've always worked for other people and companies. I can't do this. I don't have the attributes. You can acquire the attributes, and that's what totems do. So the topic for next week's show is how to use totems to enhance your life. Of course, we'll still be doing open lines and life coaching and tarot mini readings on the phones. We'll be taking your calls, but we got a topic next week, how to use totems to enhance your life. And the other aspect that you were talking about, you know, why people actually do meditation, and, you know, Eckhart Tolle would talk about getting into the now, you know, bringing yourself into the now, and why you do that, and realizing your true self. Let's do a whole show on that. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll do a show on why you do that, and also when you go through that process, how it really shows that there is a real you versus what we think is us. The conscious thinking, chatter, egoic mind. Yeah, we'll do a whole show on that. But let's try to take another call or two, and then we're going to do the upcoming shows on the network. It looks like the caller that's been waiting the longest is area code 510. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Are you there, 510? Oh, I'm getting the hang-up. Yeah, remember last week we had those technical problems and we said, well, it's Mercury retrograde. It's like, aha. Mercury.
I told you to knock on wood. We were hoping that was going to happen this time.
Yeah, well, the problem I had last week calling into the show was resolved, but now the switchboard's not working right. So let me put them back on hold, and then I'm going to try to bring their mic live again. There we go.
Okay.
Area code 510, are you there? Hello, caller? It's you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, I'm going to put them back on hold. Maybe they had run to the little girls' room,
situation.
little boys' room, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll come back to that line. Okay, so we're going to go to area code, who's been waiting the longest? 954. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm calling from Florida.
Oh, it's Lisa
Hi,
Day.
Lisa.
It's our second Lisa. How's it going?
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's interesting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're waiting on you.
Yeah, we're waiting on you.
Go ahead, Rose.
What did you want to talk about?
Well,
Oh, Rose,
Yeah.
you're not going to believe this. The switchboard is telling me caller Lisa has dropped.
Oh goodness. Okay, so there must be some kind of connection issue.
Yeah. I think she was having trouble hearing us, and I was hearing her fine. I mean, there was a little bit of maybe cutting out, so there might have been some phone issues there. Let's see. Well, let's give her a chance to call back in. Hopefully Lisa will call back in. We didn't even get to her question. We could have at least addressed it and she could listen to the recording. Let's tell folks the upcoming shows. What's happening on the network, Dr. Rose?
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So here's the lineup for what we have for this weekend. So typically, everyone, we have shows from Friday to Monday, and we also have a Wednesday show as well. So coming up tomorrow, we have Tarot Today Radio with Mary Brown and Dax Carlisle. And they do have open lines for tarot mini readings. Yeah. And tomorrow's topic is Psychic Spin. Is this really a moment of change? So Dax can tell you a little bit more about it, but this show is going to happen tomorrow, Saturday, June 27th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Dax, did you want to give them a little bit of taste of what's going to happen during that show?
Well, just real quickly, we always do open lines and tarot mini readings on every show. And on Tarot Today Radio, we also do topics about tarot. We got some really cool ones coming up in July. And but typically the last Saturday, the fourth Saturday of the month, we will do a segment of the show that we call Psychic Spin. And that's when we look at how, the stuff in the news is being spun. That's where spin comes from, what the talking heads do with spin. And we call it Psychic Spin because, we could take a look at it intuitively and pulling tarot cards and, pendulums and, Mary does pendulums and Chris, all the different modalities that we use, unlike the talking heads, the news anchors that just look at things that are in the news this month and give their opinion, we can actually look deeper. We can use numerology. We can use tarot. We can use intuition. And, we'll take something that's, been on everybody's mind, and we'll hold a Psychic Spin segment. And so what we're doing for this month is this really a moment of change? And we're going to be asking, with everything that's going on, it feels like and it looks like we are in a moment of change here for the entire country, maybe even the entire world, with what's, there's the health crisis, but there's also what's been happening with the demonstrations and trying to pass new legislation about how we're policing in America. We're going to look at all of those and see if, is this real change or, is in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, is it all just going to blow over and we're going to be back to normal?
Yeah.
You see what Mary and I mean there, Rose?
Yeah. No, that sounds exciting. Your Psychic Spin shows are very interesting, and it's really good to. It's kind of like using tarot in contemporary news time and what's really happening today, and how we can use tarot to see what's going on. Okay, so that's going to happen tomorrow, Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and on Sunday, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. We have Magic Universe with Sharona Rapsick. And she will be talking about using the tarot to create magical change in your life. Now, I've actually been as a guest on her show. It's really a fantastic show, so I highly recommend it. And then the topic is really quite interesting as well, because typically when people think of tarot cards, they think of a reading to tell either what to do or what's going on, or is he really sleeping with somebody else kind of thing. But you can actually use the images and things to create magical change in your life. So you want to make sure you make that Sunday show at 11 a.m., Magic Universe with Sharona Rapsick. And then on Monday, we actually have 2 shows for you, one at 10 a.m. Pacific and then one at 11 a.m. Pacific.
Dr. Rose?
Yes.
Dr. Rose? I'm sorry to break in, but that's actually changed, and so I didn't want to confuse people out there. Actually, remember you said we also have a show Wednesday? Yeah, that is the second show that used to be on Mondays. So basically what's happened is Catherine Hahn has moved her Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance show to Wednesdays. So Monday is Wisdom of the Soul.
Got you. Okay, so thank you for clarifying that, because I've been used to seeing 2 shows on Monday. So actually we will have one show, everyone, at 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's the Wisdom of the Soul with Janice Fuchs. So you want to make sure that you make that at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And then on Wednesday, we have, as Doc just pointed out, the Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance show with Catherine Hahn. And she is actually wrapping up a series that she's been doing called The Divine You. That's Wednesday, July 1st, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So you want to make sure that you make it to her show as well. And that's our lineup for up till next Wednesday. And then, of course, next Friday, Dax and I will be back doing The Doctors Are In, and we will be talking about totems and what they can do for you. So we hope that you come back to our show as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we'll be in July, and the first Saturday of each month is Mary Brown's There's a Rock for That. So I wanted to point out that next Saturday, July 4th, yes, on Independence Day, 4th of July, I asked Mary, are you sure you want to do a show on the 4th of July? And she said, yeah. So she's doing her There's a Rock for That on July 4th. She's going to be exploring carnelian and holding open lines and crystal mini readings. If you want something different, definitely turn into that, first Saturday of the month show. There's a Rock for That with Mary Brown, because she does, she does tarot readings on Tarot Today Radio with me the other 3 or 4 Saturdays a month. But that first Saturday, she does something different. She does that crystal mini readings, which is really fascinating. By the way, I do want to go back to using tarot to create magical change in your life on the show this Sunday with Sharona Rapsick, Magic Universe. And I'm looking forward to that show too, Dr. Rose. I want to see what Sharona has to say about that, because there's so many other ways to use tarot, as you said, besides, predicting the future. So there we go. You can head over to psychictalk.net/upcoming anytime and always see all the upcoming shows. You can also just click Listen Live at the top of any page on psychictalk.net, and it'll take you to the upcoming shows. Okay, and now I've got 1,000 birthday messages coming through from Facebook. It's like, it's this person's birthday, it's that person's birthday. Oh, so we're at the end of the show here. We had a bunch of people call in, but none of them pushed 1 on their dial pad. So we're assuming you don't want to be live on air and you're just listening to the show. Press 1 if you want to get through with us. Let's try that. that 510 area code, see if they're there.
Hello.
Hi, caller.
Hi. Hi.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tamika, California.
Awesome. What can we do for you, Tamika?
I feel like I have this energy around me. I just want to know, can you look to see what type of energy is pulling on me or pushing on me?
Okie doke. Well, let's see what comes up in the cards. We're going to do this really fast because I want to try to squeeze one more call in, and then we got to get out of here because I've got a client at the bottom of the hour, somewhere between time. I got to get going on that, but let's see what we can see. And I'm going to put Tamika on hold here because I'm getting a lot of background noise, and let's just see what comes up here. Okay. I'm trying to see. It's nothing really. Boy, this is one of those, Dr. Rose, where I'm not really getting information that really points to any dark energy around Tamika or anything like that. I mean, the only thing that even comes close is the central focus card. The main focus is the strength card, which is talking to her, about, how you have to have that inner strength, inner courage, love conquers all, have some dynamism, some conviction, self-control, take action, have resolve, optimism, personal power. That's just some of the things what the strength card is talking about. So the only thing that I could say, like getting no negative cards, nothing showing up that would indicate something negative that we could latch on and figure out what this is. Instead, it's just telling me, the strength card, that you need to combat any possible negative energy or things coming your way by adopting that posture of, strength and courage, your own self-control, take action, things along those lines. I don't know if there's a mantra for defense against. And, go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've given this mantra out many times before, and just chant the mantra GUM. GUM is all about removing obstacles and removing negativity of any kind, even if it's if you think it's a spirit or entity that's around you, or you're just very unclear about things in your life, or you feel that there's an obstacle. Just chant GUM. Some people do Om Gum Ganapatiye Namaha. In the Hindu tradition, they have this elephant-headed god. Think about an elephant that just comes in and just wipes out whatever obstacles there are. If you've ever seen an elephant, there are videos out there where elephants just got fed up, and and the elephants are a part of the circus, and they just got fed up and just kind of went crazy. They move everything. They'll pick up cars, move, all that kind of stuff. So elephants are pretty strong, and they definitely move objects out. And the GUM mantra moves any kind of negativity. So typically we say chant it 108 times a day. Some do a traditional practice of doing it for 40 days. I would just say do it. If you don't want to commit to like a 40-day type of thing, just chant it, especially when you start to feel like there's something around you or you're unclear. Just start chanting the mantra and chant it as often as you can throughout the day, and you'll start to see some things kind of open up and clear up for you.
Awesome. And another aspect of the strength card I just wanted to mention that part of this is, seating yourself in the light. Nothing negative can encroach upon you. Just think of shadows. A dark shadow cannot penetrate the light. If you were to have a huge stage light over your head shining straight down on you, no shadow would be able to exist in that area, that field, And, to the extent that we don't allow ourselves to slip into negative self-talk, negative thinking, we talk about this on the show all the time, Dr. Rose, keeping our attention on what we don't want instead of what we do want,
right.
If we can avoid all of that and center ourselves in the light and instead put our focus on what we want, a lot of what people label as negative energy, negative entities, negative thoughts being aimed at them, it can't penetrate. So I know it's cliche, but it is actually true that the best defense is a strong offense. So,
that's right.
And it's indicated here in the cards because what shows up? The Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands. That's all about following your passions in life. The Knight of Wands grabs that wand. Wands are the fire element in the tarot deck, and he's galloping away with this wand. He's focused on a singular thing that he's passionate about and wants to manifest. And then the Page of Wands is examining his wand. So he is doing the research and the study, the setup to be able to accomplish his goals, to manifest what he's passionate about. And it's interesting because those two cards actually bookend the reading. If you ever heard me say that term before, that means that, one's at one end of the reading, one's at the other end of the reading. And when you got something like that where it's talking about the same concept and it's bookending the reading, is doorway through which you're supposed to step. So, and the central focus, the Strength card. So you got to have that inner strength and conviction. You got to center yourself in the light. You got to follow your passions. Put your attention on what you want to attract in, how you want things to be, and the negative's not going to be able to touch you anyway. So I hope that helped you out, Tamika, from your neck of the woods. You have the same area code there, Dr. Rose. I just
She said,
and we had
she said she was calling from California.
California, yeah. So we had some other calls, but they dropped off, and that's perfectly fine. If if we didn't get to you today, we apologize. But hey, you can call in tomorrow. I'm going to be back with Mary Brown, and we're going to have a fun show tomorrow, and take your calls. So you can call in tomorrow, get a mini reading, and Dr. Rose, you and I will be back next week. Totems.
That's right.
Can't wait for that.
Totems. That's going to be an exciting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it all started with a YouTube video, actually a series of YouTube videos that I was watching about this, and I got some interesting stories from that, and it just gave me the idea that, hey, this is something we need to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome stuff. So I want to say goodbye to everyone, and I want to thank all of our callers and listeners, because we don't have a show without you, and I don't have a show without you, Dr. Rose.
That's right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a blessed week. Bye, guys.
Goodbye, Rose.